Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on the time of day it is, wherever you are in the world while you're watching this right now. Welcome to this YouTube channel. My name is Bart, and let's talk about my build for the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021. Sometime in the first half of 2018, I took the guitar making class at Tomba Lake Workshop. I'll put the link in below and if you're interested to find out more about the workshop. And that's where I built my first guitar. It was a scratch build. That's the kind of class they run. We were guided on every step of the process. And it's while I was building that I got interested, not just in building guitars, but in woodworking, and started watching lots of YouTube videos, spent hours learning about building guitars. So I learned not only during the class at Tomba Lake Workshop, but also from YouTube. And that's where I discovered Crimson Guitars and Ben Crow. And I spent a lot of time watching some of his older clips as well, because I found it very helpful and learned quite a lot, not just from Ben, but many of the others who have posted clips online as well. And after I finished building that first one, I thought, let's build a second guitar. And so the second guitar is sitting over here. Let me just pull it up for you. This is the second guitar I built. It's a set neck telly with a mahogany body, a maple neck, and a Zuricote fretboard. Well, single coil size humbucker pickups with switching to what does this do? This is for in-phase, out-of-phase switching, and I've got a push-pull here to split the coils both at the same time. And I had a lot of fun building this, and in fact it's one of my favorite guitars right now. Of all the guitars I've ever owned, which aren't that many, I think I've only ever had about 6 guitars, and this is my favorite one so far. And with the leftover wood that I had, the timber that I had from this build as well as the first build, and I should show you that build as well, right? I thought, it's a shame to let that wood go to waste. So I thought, can I build another guitar just with the leftover timber? Well, leftover timber, I wasn't confident enough to build another neck with the leftover timber, so I ordered a piece of wood long enough for a neck through. And so I built a short scale guitar with leftover timber, and that's this build, which looks a bit unusual, doesn't it? I kind of like the shape of the back, the way that it feels at the back of the neck. I think I can take the neck down a little. I actually built this for my wife because she's got smaller hands. Well, my hands are not very big either. And yes, she learned how to play the guitar when she was young in school, took some lessons, but I think she hasn't played for many years. And she was playing a classical, which wasn't really ideal for her hands. So I thought something like this, smaller, shorter scale length, would work. And then I started playing this when I got it, well, when I had it done, and I found it very comfortable and started wondering, why are most guitars about this size? Why not make them something like this size? The plan is to build a guitar that has a slightly smaller body, but a standard scale length. I'm looking at 25-inch scale length. The pickups, I haven't quite decided. I have a few sets at home. We'll have to see which one to use, and I think the thing that I have to decide first is the timber. So that'll be the next thing we talk about. Sometime in the middle of last year, Tomba Lake Workshop had a warehouse sale where they were clearing excess timber, and I went over and I purchased some pieces that I have right now with me, and I'll show you what they are, and this is what I plan to use for the build. First up, we have this piece of beech, and this can be the spine of the guitar. This piece is about 849 millimeters in length, about 160 millimeters wide, and about 50 millimeters thick. This, if I were to cut it right down the middle in two, I can use one piece for this build and save the other one for another build. I'm building a guitar that's smaller than the standard size guitars, typical ones that we're familiar with. So 850 millimeters in length should be more than enough. So with this piece that goes right through the middle, I'll have to add wings to it. And for the body, I have this piece of African mahogany. Now, I also got this during the warehouse sale at Tomba Lake, and this is about let's see, about 379 millimeters in length, about 260 wide, and about 49 millimeters thick. And I think that's perfectly fine for a body, especially when I will have to cut it in half and put it on either side of the neck. And I may decide to go with a top for it, so I'll have to make it a little bit thinner, and that would be this piece of maple, which I also picked up at Tomba Lake. Now this is about 326 millimeters in length, about 214 millimeters wide, and about 33 millimeters thick. More than enough. I'll just have to cut it in half and we'll put it on top. But I may not do that. I might just stick with the African mahogany right here. So we'll decide as we're going along with the build. For the fretboard, I have two options. One is this piece of, well, let's get the body out of the way so you see it against the neck. So one is this piece of rosewood, which I bought online. I don't even remember where, which is why I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think it's rosewood. But this is a bit rough. I'll have to plane it down and obviously have to cut the slot, shape it and everything. Now, if I were to run out of time, then the other option is to use this, a fretboard that's already slotted and radius. This is from StewMac, a maple fretboard. Now, if I decide to go with this fretboard, then I will stain the neck. I've got some nice crimson stains, and the stains will provide a contrast between the fretboard and the back of the neck. So that is the plan, and the next thing I have to do is begin the build, and the first step in doing that will be to design the guitar. So the next video will focus on the design and the start of the work on the body as well as the neck. Thank you for staying this far with this clip. If you like what you saw, what you heard, give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested to find out how the build progresses, then why not subscribe? You probably will be one of the first to subscribe to this channel, or maybe even the very first one. And I'll be very thankful for that. So thank you very much. Have a good time building if you're also in the Great Guitar Build-Off. And even if you're not, have you ever built a guitar? Why not give it a shot, and you might just enjoy it as well. So thank you. See you in the next video.